Time having arrived. I'm going to call the City Council meeting for October 9th. Please stand. We're going to salute the flag. Hats off, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilors, I just want to give you a quick status update relative to the City Council President. As you know, Councilor Ian Airy had his surgery last Monday. He is home. Surgery was a success. I've spoken to him. The city clerk actually has had a house visit with him, and he's just beginning the recovery. So we don't have an expectation yet when Dennis will be back, but I'm sure he's watching and taking notes and critiquing us as we speak. With that being said, I'm going to open the floor to Councilor Farwell, please.
A moment of personal privilege.
Absolutely, Councilor.
Councilors, I'd like to introduce you to Reserve Command Master Chief Rashawn Morris, and I would like to present her with a citation. She is from Brockton, and I'm going to read just a portion of what really is an outstanding biographical sketch. For those of you who are familiar with the military, she made it to the rank, and she is in the rank of E9, which is no small accomplishment. So let me read to you just a little bit about Master Chief Morris. She enlisted in the Coast Guard in 1987. Upon completion of Coast Guard basic training at Cape May, she was selected to conduct ceremonial operations before world leaders and dignitaries for the Coast Guard Ceremonial Honor Guard and Silent Drill Team outside of the Washington, D.C. area. After graduating from Yeoman School, she provided administrative support to thousands of students rotating in and out of Coast Guard training at Center Petaluma, California. She went on to serve on the 7th Coast Guard District in Miami, Florida, Coast Guard Engineering Support Unit, Boston, and Coast Guard Group, Boston. After serving over 13 years of active duty, she transitioned into the Coast Guard Reserves. She was then assigned to Coast Guard Integrated Support Command, Boston, Coast Guard Base, Boston, Mass., and Coast Guard Sector, Baltimore, Maryland. She mobilized for the Deepwater Horizon oil spill response in Mobile, Alabama, and for Hurricane Sandy in Boston. And she is currently the Reserve Command Master Chief for the 1st Coast Guard District in Boston. It's a remarkable career. I asked her how long she's staying in. She has 2.5 more years to go. And so with that, I would like to present to you a citation from the Brockton City Council on behalf of all of your service to our country and to the Coast Guard, and we are proud to have you as a member of our community.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate this opportunity to come and be recognized. It means a lot. It's been a long journey of 31 years. I appreciate my neighbor Jackie. I hope she makes it here, but she was the one that initiated everything, and I so appreciate her, and certainly all of my amazing friends over here that were able to come. We've been in Brockton since 2000, and like I said, it's been a great experience for us, a great journey for me in the Coast Guard, and again, I just thank you guys so much. It means a lot to be recognized in the city that I've enjoyed living in for 18 years, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilor Farwell, thank you for that, and again, thank you for your service, and you're a true champion within the city champion, so thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Councilors, before we get into agenda number one, I just want to let you know that the Rom Little Theater is going to be used by Brockton High School Drama for their upcoming play. So from November 5th, December 3rd, we won't have access here. I'm working with Mike Thomas, Assistant Superintendent of the Schools, to find a location. I recommended maybe West Middle School Auditorium or the Brockton High Main Auditorium. We're trying to figure out logistics relative to cable and volume and stuff. So stay tuned on that, but I'll give you an update once we lock in a place, okay? Agenda item number one, Mr. Clerk.
The acceptance of the minutes of the September 24, 2018 City Council meeting.
Accepted and placed on file.
The appointment of Jose Lobo to the rank of temporary sergeant in the Brockton Police Department.
Councilor Rodriguez.
Mr. President, I would like to take items 2 and 3 collectively and ask us to act on them tonight under the suspension rules, if I could.
There's a motion on the floor. It's probably second. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, that carries. Mr. Clerk, if you could read number 3, please.
The appointment of Stanley David to the rank of sergeant in the Brockton Police Department.
I know both gentlemen are here, and out of respect for them, if they could just come forward. We thank you for being here tonight. Questions on adoption by a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, if you could kindly read the roll.
Asak?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Darrencourt?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
Nacastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Matters are approved. Congratulations. Gentlemen, tomorrow, at your convenience, if you can coordinate, sometime this week, the city clerk's office, you need to coordinate swearing in and all that process, but Mr. Zioli could be beneficial on that, okay? Thank you again. Congratulations. Councilors, please take your seat. Councilor Farwell.
Could we perhaps have a 2-minute recess to allow the Master Chief and her guests to depart?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is wonderful. Yes, okay. All right.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, I make a motion on 2 and 3 for reconsideration in the hopes it does not prevail.
Motion on the floor for reconsideration. Hopes it doesn't prevail. All in favor of reconsideration, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion for reconsideration does not prevail. Thank you, Council. Number 4, please.
Careful.
In accordance with the revised ordinances of the City of Brockton, Article 5, Departments, Section 2-379, Department of Human Resources, subject to confirmation by the City Council, Sandra Knight as Human Resources Director, in accordance with the provisions of Section 2-131 of the revised ordinances, with approval of the City Council, the authority to hire Ms. Knight at the top step of the present rate of ordinance salary for the title of Director of Personnel. Said rate is currently $104,430. There are sufficient funds in the department's budgets to support this action.
Refer to the Finance Committee.
The report of the Finance Committee for its meeting of October 1st, 2018.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the Chief of Police Department requesting authorization to expend additional grant monies in the amount of $40,822 related to the fiscal 2019 Public Safety Answering Point and Regional Emergency Communication Center support and incentive grant.
That too accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Also accepted and placed on
I
file.
have a communication for the mayor recommending that revised ordinances of the city, Section 2-127 pay plan be amended by deleting in its entirety from compensation grade DH5 the title of Director of Personnel and its associated step salaries, and replacing it with the following concrete DH5 Human Resources Director, minimum $112,500. Step 2, strike that, $115,875. Step 3, $119,351. Step 4, $122,930. Step 5, $126,620. Step 6, $130,420. Step 7, $134,330, in order to establish a salary structure for the new position of Human Resources Director, which is commensurate with the responsibilities and duties of this title.
Accepted and placed on file.
From the CFO, recommending the same.
Also accepted and placed on file.
From the mayor, in accordance with the revised ordinances of the City of Brockton, Article 5, Departments, Section 2-379, Department of Human Resources, hereby appointing, subject to confirmation by the City Council, Sandra Knight as Human Resources Director. Furthermore, in accordance with the provisions of Section 2-131 of the revised ordinances, hereby requesting the approval of the City Council, the authority to hire Ms. Knight at the top step of the present rate of ordinary salary for the title Director of Personnel. Said rate is currently $104,430. There are sufficient funds in the department's budget to support this action. The revised ordinances do not currently contain a salary structure for the title Director of Human Resources, which would reflect the level of duties and responsibilities now placed on the position. By separate communication, filed an ordinance request to establish that salary.
Council is accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the
That
same.
too is accepted and placed on file. Council Cruz.
Make a motion to take items 13 through 17 collectively.
There's a motion on the floor properly seconded. Take 13 through 17 collectively. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, that carries. 13 through 17, Mr. Clerk.
The following reappointments were in City Council September 24, 2018. They read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance, and the reports were favorable. The reappointment of Jason Mosley as Special Police Officer of the City of Brockton for a one-year term ending September 2019. Reappointment of Kevin A. Smith as Special Police Officer of the City of Brockton for a one-year term ending September 2019. Reappointment of Daniel J. Vaughn as a Special Police Officer of the City of Brockton for a one-year term ending September 2019. Reappointment of Julie Marshall as a Special Police Officer in the City of Brockton for a one-year term ending September 2019. The reappointment of Janet Frizzell Hancock as a Special Police Officer of the City of Brockton for a one-year term ending September 2019. The following appointments were all reported as favorable.
Questions on confirmation by roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, kindly read the roll.
Asak?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Councilors, all reappointments are hereby confirmed.
The appointment of Julie Castor of 55 Oak Street, Hyde Park, Mass. to the position of part-time assessor for the City of Brockton. In council, September 24th, 2018. Ready to refer to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Questions on confirmation by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, kindly read the roll.
Asak?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Appointment is hereby confirmed.
An appropriation of $10,000 from unappropriated fiscal 19, receipts of the general fund, $10,000, to Finance Department Personal Services, $10,000. In City Council, September 24, 2018. Ready to refer to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report is favorable.
Questions on adoption by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, kindly read the roll.
Asak?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Appropriation is hereby adopted.
An appropriation of $671,897 from the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Department of Homeland Security to City of Brockton Fire Department FEMA/DHS grant fund, and an appropriation of $67,189 from unappropriated estimate receipts of fiscal 19 of the general fund, the City of Brockton Fire Department, FEMA/DHS grant match, favorable as amended, and council September 24, 2018.
Council, the question is on adoption as amended by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, kindly read the roll.
Asek?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Darrencourt?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Appropriation as amended is hereby adopted.
Ordered in accordance with Section 2-131 of the revised ordinances that the City Council authorize the Chairman of the Board of Assessors to offer a hiring rate at the top step for the position of part-time member Board of Assessors for Julie Castor, in council, September 24, 2018. Ready to refer to Standing Committee on Finance. That report is favorable.
Questions on adoption by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, kindly read the roll.
Asek?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Darrencourt?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Order is hereby adopted.
Ordered in compliance with the provisions of the election laws, notice is hereby given that the state election will be held on Tuesday, November 6, 2018, at the designated polling places. In council, September 24, 2018. Ready to refer to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report is favorable.
Questions on adoption by a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please read the roll.
Asek?
Yes.
Beauregard?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Darrencourt?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Lally?
Yes.
Monahan?
Yes.
DeCastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
Order is hereby adopted.
An order amending Section 2-127 of the revised ordinances of the City of Brockton, be it ordained as follows. Section 2-127 pay plan is hereby amended by deleting in its entirety from compensation grade DH5 the title of Director of Personnel and its associated step salaries and replacing it.
That's going to be referred to the ordinance committee.
An appropriation of additional grant funds, any amount of $40,822 from the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, State 911 Department, fiscal 2019 Public Safety Answering Point and Regional Emergency Communications Center support and incentive grants to City of Brockton Police Department, fiscal 2019 Public Safety Answering Point and Regional Emergency Communication Center support and incentive grant fund.
Referred to the finance committee. I believe we do have a late file from Council Farwell.
Yes, Mr. President, I request admission of a late file.
Second.
Absolutely. There's a motion on the floor, is properly second for late file. All in favor? All opposed? Late file is approved.
In council, October 9th, 2018, whereas the 3 requests to change the level of compensation for certain management positions were submitted to the city council for approval, and whereas the city engaged the services of a consultant to examine the job title, statement of duties and responsibilities, and level of compensation for other employees in various city departments, and whereas the city council has not received any information report regarding the study undertaken by the consultant or the financial impact upon the city, if corrections and adjustments were made to the job specifications and compensation of these employees. Now therefore be resolved that the chief financial officer and the mayor be invited to a meeting of the council to discuss potential adjustments to any other employees or employee groups as a result of the consultant study, the financial impact upon the city, and that a copy of any report generated by the consultant be distributed to the council.
That will be referred to the finance committee. Councilors, any other matters before us? Council Beauregard, followed by Council Azak, please.
Okay, I'd like a moment of personal privilege.
Have it, Counselor.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'd like to bring up the issue of the shopping cart. I believe if I took a survey and asked everyone if they'd like an abandoned shopping cart in front of their home, no hands would go up. And it just seems that there are more shopping carts along the streets, in front of people's homes.
Counselor, you do
and
know there's a
abandoned.
shopping cart ordinance on the books?
Yes, and that's
You know
why
that
I
Pat
thought I'd bring
Sullivan's-
that up.
Pat
Yes.
Sullivan's department is coordinating the efforts on that.
Well, that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up. I think there's been a minimal amount of coordination, so
Okay.
I just thought if I brought it up this evening, since
appreciate
last
that.
week, I brought up the traffic, and we got some results that this week,
I know, we'll speak on that.
Yes.
You were incorrect, but.
and that the shopping cart, because I thought if we accumulated all of them and sold them, maybe for melting the metal, that we might have some funding to go around. But anyway, no, in
I will
all
reach out to
seriousness,
Mr.
yeah.
Sullivan tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Azak, please.
A moment of personal privilege.
Absolutely, Counselor.
It was a very busy weekend in the City of Champions, Columbus Day weekend, but one of an event that Councilor Beauregard and myself attended was Tower Fest, and I'm sure others did, but we happened to be there, and Councilor Lally was there. I'm going to mention something that was a surprise until that day, but Pat Hool, who has been the president, I believe, past president of DW Fields Association, was honored that day from the DW Fields Park Association. A bench was placed in her honor at the entrance of the tower, which is absolutely beautiful, and it was a surprise, so we couldn't mention it beforehand, but Councilor Beauregard and myself were there to present her with a citation from the full city council, and to honor her for her dedication to the city of Brockton and to the DW Fields Park for many years that she served. So thank you, Pat, publicly thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Rodriguez, followed by Counselor Cruz, please.
You can go ahead. He was on before me.
Counselor Cruz, followed by Rodriguez.
Thank you. Just, actually, I did want to report, I had said last week that I would, and I know you would reach out to the chief of police also. There was some misunderstanding at the traffic commission, and nobody is assigned beyond where they're supposed to be assigned. There are traffic cars on at all times, and as assigned, other officers assigned as possible when they're, when the workload allows. So the idea that they were going to be reassigned to other places was simply miscommunication, and it's not happening, so.
Thank you,
pleased about
Counselor.
that.
I did
Thank
speak
you.
to the mayor about it. He
Yes.
echoed the same sentiment, so it was
Chief
something
called me right
lost
away,
in
and I had
translation.
there was some, misunderstanding between Captain Hallisey and us.
Thank you, Counselor, for that
Thank you.
update. Counselor Rodriguez, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. A moment of personal privilege.
Absolutely.
I'd like to inform the members of the Real Estate Committee that we do have a couple items on the agenda that we need to clear out before the end of the year. So we'll be holding a committee meeting on the 23rd, a Tuesday, at City Hall in the basement. I think it's easiest since it's a small group, probably not a whole bunch of people invited. So it's Tuesday, 23rd,
What time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Thank you, Councilors. And again, anybody that sits on ordinance will be meeting here on the 18th, 6 o'clock.
that's what I thought.
Again, if you could kindly put that into, we have two agenda items relative to the marijuana issue. Council Monahan, please.
Yes, moment of personal privilege.
Absolutely.
Just very important information. I'd like to wish my granddaughter a happy 6th birthday today.
Oh, isn't that
So,
nice?
McKenna Monahan.
Councilors, anything else? I actually want to thank three Brocktonians, Chris Koska, Patrick Quinn, and Tommy Williams. I had never heard of the Ames Family Cemetery in Brockton. Never heard of it.
amazing? Yeah.
I saw it on social media on Facebook that these three individuals have cleaned it out, and I just want to publicly thank them. Because I saw the before and after pictures, and they really did a lot of work. And I do also want to publicly thank David Farrell.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you received this weekend, but it was a wonderful compilation. It was a result of several years ago when Lorraine Louisi, who's my mother-in-law, spoke before the council on Thomaselli Square, which was her uncle that passed in World War II. And David, at that time, we had asked if he could please do a really in-depth study of the different veteran monuments and earmarks here in the city. It took some time, but you can see they did really a wonderful, wonderful job. So I emailed him today to thank him on behalf of the council. It really shows the good of Brockton when we, don't forget. And that's the whole purpose of the monuments, for the people that gave the ultimate sacrifice that allows us to do what we do every Monday night. So I want to thank him and his staff because it was really impressive. Anything else before us tonight? I'm going to say go Red Sox, huh? Let's get them tonight. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.